London magic, yours and mine. Feel the vibe, enjoy the ride. London brings it every time. We're heading into London town to mingle with the crowds. Get some grub and socialize. Drink some beer and get real loud. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Maybe go to Camden, stroll around the shops, buy some Dr. Martens or a Michael Jackson top. The market may be heaving, bright colors everywhere, but we can mooch around the stables in the cobbled yards down there. Endless traffic on the road, people dodging young and old. Crawling cars make tensions rise as tempers flare before our eyes. See the buses passing by, honking black cabs as they vibe. Feel the vibe, enjoy the ride. London brings it every time.
Guys, Wax did it again. He brought it home on the Sean Atwood channel. Oh my God, you had to be there. After my live stream with Duncan last night, I was somewhat concerned that he may be derailed by the orchestrated troll onslaught that we received. Indeed, they showed their ugly faces before the live stream had even started. I mean, I popped in about 20 minutes before. There they were. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I don't know what noises slugs make. Do you? Do you know what noise they make? But they came in full of it. They thought they were going to derail the chat. They had a really good go. I looked back at some of the chat on my live stream that I did with Duncan last night, and I was absolutely disgusted at the things that they'd said on there. They were vile. They're just horrible, horrible people. And it makes me wonder, why? Why are they so foul? What have I done to them? What have all these people that were in my chat done to them? They upset some people. Some people have told me that they were really, really upset by what some of these people were writing in there. I had to apologise, and I have apologised on my channel, that I wasn't fully aware of what they were saying, because I've been doing live streams for some time and in communities that are really, really ugly. And I've learnt that if you're going to do a live stream, you have to focus on what you're doing, which isn't easy for me, but I've learnt to do that. So although I may glance at the chat for, information or just to read what other people are saying, I don't tend to take any notice of trolls, and for that reason I felt that I needed to apologise for the people that were genuinely upset at some of the things these trolls are saying. This video isn't about that. This video is about Wax. Wax! I bet somebody's going to say, she's related to Wax. No, I'm not actually. I'm not. But I've always supported him. I've been supporting him from day one. And as I said on my live stream last night, the guy is so passionate. He's so intelligent. He's so articulate. He's so determined to get justice for Jay. Because at the end of the day, that's all we want. You can call us whatever you want to call us, but at the end of the day, we just want justice for that boy who lost his life. And that means we want the truth to come out. That's what it simply means for those that don't really understand. Well, what does justice for Jay mean? It means that that boy who is no longer with us he won't get anything because he's gone, but it does mean that the truth will be out there, and also those responsible will be punished appropriately. That's what we want, guys. That's all we want. Anyway, so after my live stream, I was somewhat concerned that he may be derailed by the orchestrated onslaught, but he was such a champ, an absolute champ. But I was also concerned about how he would handle a live. Now, I haven't seen if Wax has done live streams before. I don't know whether he's done live TV or anything. I've done both. And yeah, and cameras don't bother me. I've done lives on on TV, and some people would think, well, how the hell does she manage that? I manage very well, thank you. But yeah, so I was a little bit worried. I thought, oh God, I wonder if Wax is going to be okay, because there is such a thing as like stage fright, I think they call it. And it's very easy to sort of lose your train of thought. I do it all the time. Do it on a daily basis, guys. So I was a little bit concerned about that, and I thought, oh, bless his heart, let's show him support. So I started sort of rallying in the chat, come on, let's show him support. And then people were putting up blue hearts. It was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Anyway, what we did was, with the blue hearts, we actually drowned out the nasties. It was great. After a slight wobble at the beginning, which was sort of induced by being asked to summarise the Jay Slater case, he soon got into his stride.
Wax, you're here this evening with us. Before we do that, though, please introduce yourself, and thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you ever so much for reaching out and getting me involved. I'm Wax, for those that don't know. I've been on YouTube for about 5 years, and yeah, we're just focused on this Jay Slater case at the moment because it's just a weird one. It's a bizarre case, and we need to get to the bottom of it. So many. There's a web of lies that we need to kind of run through, in my opinion, Ron. I'm not too sure how close you've kind of followed the case.
So just quickly, give a summary, if you can, of the official statement and what took place in 2024. You don't have to go into mega detail, but just sort of lay down the foundation for the viewers.
So you want that the official narrative? That's
hit us with the propaganda, shall we say? First of all,
yeah. So on this,
bless his heart. Oh Lordy. Anyway. Do you know what? Do you know what it reminded me of? I've had therapy in the past. I've had, a diagnosis for something which is actually wrong. Yay! But I do have ADHD. So, it reminded me of when you go to therapy, right? And you walk in and there's a new person there who doesn't know anything about you. And they say, so, what's been happening? And it's like, maybe that's just one of my triggers. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. Put it down in the comments below. But yeah, when someone's, it's a bit like, it's difficult because if you talk about mental health issues, then it's used against you. Like Luggy and some of the others, Bumblebeat, is it? And Juggles or Jugglers, they're the main ones, who are now blocked. You're blocked, guys, all right, get over it. Yeah, I don't know if it's just one of my triggers or whether any of you understand the thing, but it's like trying to, you prepared yourself to go and talk about something, and then somebody throws the first question, which completely throws you off kilter. And I feel that because Ron, was it, the guy who was interviewing him, said to him, well, can you summarise the Jay Slater case? I was like, oh my God. And I think I even wrote in the chat, oh my God, I can't believe this guy doesn't know anything about the case, because it soon became apparent that dear Ron didn't know, or Don, is it? I don't know, didn't know about the case. And I thought, oh no, poor Wax. So there was a slight wobble at the beginning. Yeah. Bless me. And I felt for Wax. I thought, oh no, he's going to come in. It's hard for me to describe what I'm trying to say, but it's like trying to come in a place that you weren't expecting to come in. And how do you summarise the Jay Slater case? You cannot summarise it. There are so many different branches off that tree. Where do you start? Do you start at the roots? If you start at the roots, it's going to take you 5 years to get to the top. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I was a little bit worried when that happened, but I tell you what, he's a champ. Wax, you're a bloody champ. Well done, lad. It's like he's one of my boys, honestly. I can't help myself. Anyway, so there was many a troll, led by the particularly nasty and aggressive Lord Lugworth, or Lugsworth. He was there in all his glory, spouting off, wax this, wax that. Pathetic. What a pathetic specimen of a man. Honestly, this guy. Anyway, I'm not going to make it all about him, but he was there. And it was the very same crowd that had come into my live stream. And I thought, okay, so I warned the mods. Mods, keep your eyes peeled. There's many a troll in here. Jan spotted them, all right? I was having none of it. No one's going to upset Wax, all right? No one. I'm very protective, guys. I'm protected of Wax, and I'm protected of Dunks. Can't help it. I'm an old bint. That's what I do. I'm very maternal. I'm a mama bear. And I'm not having any of them insulting Wax and Duncan when they've done absolutely nothing to them, personally. And all they've done is tried to get justice for Jay. Just start off with his stupid insults and everything. I've even had threats in there. Oh, you wait, Jan. All your business is going to be all online tomorrow. I don't give a toss. I've got a lot of business out there anyway. I've been in the beauty community, I've been in the mental health community, I've been in the, what's the other one? Drama community. I tell you what, they're nutters, absolute nutters. They're people that if you say something, they will replay it over and over again and put completely different meanings to it. But hey, okay, Slugster, you get on with it. I don't care. So, as I say, we didn't. What I am so proud about, guys, is that there was so many of us in there supporting Wax, and that's what he needed, because there were a few times when I could see his mouth getting a bit dry, and I was like, come on, lad, you could do it. So I'm screaming from the sidelines like a mother at a child's football match. Do you know what I mean? I'm one of those mums. I got kicked out of the I was watching my daughter play netball many moons ago, and yes, I was reprimanded for being a bit loud. Can't help it. I'm enthusiastic. So that's how I was in the chat. And then when I saw people started putting blue hearts, I thought, that's what we'll do. We'll just keep putting all the blue hearts. I tell you what, gone they were. Gone were the hearts. I mean, were the trolls. Gone. Anyway, God. I've talked for so much. I want to play one particular part of it, because I'm not going to play all of it, because they'll probably strike me. They've got over 1 million subs, and it's like, what's that bird doing over there? Yeah, so I just wanted to say, well done, Wax. So proud of you. So super proud. Right, so one of the proudest moments for me was when Wax addressed the slugster, the sluggy, the lugworth, the hateful individual that has been attacking Duncan for so long.
Look, another thing that we can say as well to prove that Jay wasn't alive after 1:10 is his phone. How do we prove that he wasn't alive after 1:10 via his phone? You can't show me one picture, one video, or even one voice note that Jay sent after 1:10. You won't find one. You can't. See, this is strange, Ron. For a person that was overly engaged with their phone, taking videos and pictures of themselves throughout the whole time whilst on holiday, it's weird that after 1:10 they stopped taking videos and pictures.
Somebody actually just said this, Wax. Gangs in Spain are brutal, will butcher each other over a tenner, totally different than in the UK. So, Liam, thank you for pointing that out. Maybe I am just naive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we're underestimating what ruthless is.
Yes,
you know?
It happens here. It happens here in the ends. Like, I'm not too sure where you're from, Ron, but I'm from Tower Hamlets. I've seen bodies drop and be put in the ground for less than £100.
Okay,
so,
you know, I've seen
people's houses get shot up for less than £100.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not surprised when people are doing what they're doing for 200. Do you know what I'm saying?
How freaking, like, I'm not being funny. What if this finally, one day it all comes to light and this does play out, that was a desperate attempt to get £200 out of his bank? This whole thing.
And because they had Jay's phone and they took Jay's phone to the ravine and the police was working with a statement to say he's walked that way and they're going to work with Jay's phone data, it puts Jay in that location. So we're not going to look at this in any other way other than a missing person in the mountains. Mm-hmm. And then you got to think, right? The Guardia Civil, they've brought their dogs out. They've brought all of their resources out. Every single resource they can find, they've brought out. And they've gone up the road that Jay's walked up. They've gone into the ravine. They've searched 50, 60% of that ravine, even a bit more than that, and they've decided to call off the search. Now, when they called off the search, they said they called it off initially because there was no sign of Jay being there. How? If he's walked there and he's walked through it, and you've got your cadaver dogs and all of these canines and whatnot, how have they not been able to trace his scent? It's weird. It's just, that is weird. And then they close it. According to what was said in Spain, the head of the Guardia Civil went and got a secrecy act. I don't know why they would need a secrecy act because there was no one interfering with the search. Yeah, there was people online speculating, but no one was interfering with the ground search, you know, with the search on the ground. So I don't know why they needed a secrecy act. But allegedly they got a secrecy act, and when they got that secrecy act, they were still searching.
I didn't know whether he's been in Wax's videos before, whether he's been also focusing on Wax, spreading all these negativity. I don't know, but I know for a fact that he's been coming big time for Duncan, and it's like, it's not even that it's just for the one person. These people are so vital. They come for people's families. I was doxxed in one of the communities I was in. I was doxxed really badly, and the thing that really hurt, I didn't give a toss if they find out where I live. You know, I'll stand up to anyone. They came for my family and they did a video, and it was just so horrific. They put pictures up of my kids, and then they had like this knife, this blooded knife, and all this music. If you don't shut up, Jan, this is what's going to happen. That's what these people do, guys. You know, and I think some people aren't aware of how cruel these trolls can be. So imagine my absolute delight hearing Wax face up to these people, especially Lord Luggy. So I'm going to play that for you guys. And yeah, here we go.
One of the guys that are in the chat, I can see his name, Sluggy the Side Chick, yeah? Big up
Yeah.
Sluggy the side chick. Yeah. One of the guys in the chat, he was apparently with Chris Tenerife. Well, he wasn't with Chris Tenerife. Chris Tenerife was involved in the search on the ground. Sluggy was over in Wales, and he was using technology in Wales to help Chris locate the body, basically. And then, so they've shut it down. Secrecy Act. These guys have come in. They're helping the Guardia Civil and helping the family. Then all of a sudden, there's a video from one of the rescue guys being published on TikTok. That video is of him in Masca at 2 o'clock in the morning, and all of the animals in this area, Ron, are going absolutely wild. And you're thinking, rah, like he probably videoed it, he probably filmed it, and it didn't make any sense. I was trying to actually listen to what animals you could hear, because in the video that Aya produced of Rocky sleeping in a car, and he was just zooming in and out of Rocky sleeping, if you listen to the audio, you can hear animals in the background. And one of the animals you can hear is a chicken doing cock-a-doodle-doo. But then I didn't hear none of those. I didn't hear no chickens when those animals were going mad. So I was thinking, hold on, is that audio attached to the video the same that belonged in Masca? Was that audio of Jay taken in Masca? Or was it just attached to a video that of you zooming in and out of Rocky to make it look like it was there in Masca? Either way, that noise, those animals were going crazy. And at the same time, we had a tip-off from a Coast Guard. There we go. Sorry, my bad. Coast Guard, right? But the Coast Guard on the Saturday actually said he gave this information out and said there was a tip-off about Jay's body being found on the Saturday, and I mean there was a lot of confusion around that moment, that weekend. But we got told by Sluggy, the side chick who's in the comments, as well as Chris Tenerife, who I've got a lot more respect for than Sluggy, the side chick. Let me be totally honest. Sluggy, the side chick's been online trolling us from day one, running around with Aya, protecting Brandon. And don't lie, Sluggy, I know you've been protecting Brandon. But Chris has been a bit open. Chris has been a bit more, you know, he hasn't been as trolly as Sluggy. But they're the ones that claim they gave the tip-off to the Guardia Civil. And you've got to think, well, how did you know Jay was definitely there? Chris says he didn't even see Jay. He didn't see him. He didn't stumble across his body. He just knew he was there. I just think, Ron, that's crazy. How would you know? You know, and even if you listen to their story, Ron, it is just so bizarre. When I mean it's bizarre, it's Chris basically says he goes into the ravine. He doesn't find Jay's body. He comes out of the ravine. He comes out of the ravine, but before he gets out of the ravine, Sluggy, the guy that's in these comments right now, he's the one that randomly phones the Guardia Civil and says, "Oh, I can't get through to Chris. I need you to get in there now. Go in there and get Chris out." So they're not going in there to get Jay out. They're going in there to get Chris out. But when Chris gets out, he phones Sluggy, and Sluggy basically says, "Oh, I've just phoned the Guardia Civil and told them to go in to get you out." And he's like, "What do you mean?" Oh, and then Sluggy basically says to him, "Get your camera out and start recording." Start recording what? What are you recording? So now, think of that. Think of that story right there, Ron. Chris doesn't confirm he sees Jay. Chris doesn't call the Guardia Civil to go in to get Jay out. Luggy calls him in to get Chris out. And when they go in to get Chris out, who's already out, they stumble across Jay's body. That's how they found him. That's their story. Ron, that is their story. Make it make sense. And Sluggy, you're in the comments right now. Make it make sense for us.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, explain everything that came before that. There's so much to explain. There really, really is. And at some point, whether it's 6 months or a year or 5 years or 10 years, the guilt of somebody involved in this is going to crack. Okay,
we've seen it.
I can tell you this now. There's someone in this group who closes their eyes at night and can't sleep.
I'm going to leave it there because that is such a good way of explaining what we all hope for people that do know what actually happened to poor Jay. You know, I think that someone is probably Brad. I think that young man, he's still got a lot of growing to do before he really becomes a man. And I think he has seen what happened to Jay, whether he was his best friend or not, it doesn't matter. He saw what happened. And I think he's going to have many a sleepless night, many years of sleepless nights. And who knows, one day he may actually take himself off to the police and tell them what actually happened. We may have to wait. I may not even be here when he finally opens his mouth. But yeah, Ron finished that off really, really well. Well done, Ron. And as for look at Wax's face there, just make it make sense. It's insane. So after he had addressed Sluggy, Sluggy immediately slithered away into his rancid pool of disappointment and misery, taking his nasty little followers with him. Yay! It was delightful. Absolutely delightful. Guys, we're getting there, okay? And I want to thank you all so much who were in there putting up that wall of blue hearts, because contrary to what the likes of Sluggy and his, I don't even want to start calling them names, and also mainstream media, we are the people that want justice for that young lad. Okay? That's it. And a big up, Wax. I am so super proud of you, man. Take care. Because trust me, it's a rotten old world. So until the next time, bye bye for now.